So what he decided to do, which was my idea originally, and I will be putting it away this afternoon, regardless, because I don't want it to be rained on again, because I'd like to not do that again. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm gonna drill holes in the bottom now. What are you doing? She's yelling at me. Out of an abundance of caution because of the lightning.
We were young and we were free and running, never bothered about what could be coming. Every day we danced and life was smiling. We were young and drunk in love.
I like to get mats finished for the wash stall because then we'll be completely done with mats. So what we want to do is bring the mats out to pass the stone dust to meet where the aisle is. So I'm trying to think if it'd be better to cut up some big mats or if we can't maybe put it together with scraps. We'll see. So it's gonna be way too hodgepodge to do the pieces of scraps together. So I'm just gonna cut up some big ones. I got the mats in, they fit perfectly. So the mats in the wash stall are completed, and I just had to shave off one of the little sides there, but now it's done. So now we can put on the plastic siding, not tonight, but another night. And then I was able to finagle a bunch of scraps into the little vestibule room. So I got it to go into the steps, and we secured the steps, and it's under the freezer and the doorway there, and then up under the bins. It's not perfect, a lot of gaps because they're scraps, but I'm really happy about that because I didn't have to throw them away. But basically, all the mats are cleared up out of the front there except for two bigger ones. We're gonna keep those. We're either gonna put them potentially in the aisle or they'll just go into storage for something later. But yay, cleaned up. Okay, I need to install a door handle onto this outside side door. Because right now, all that we have is a deadbolt on the inside and nothing on the outside. I'm going to be able to use it both ways and be able to keep it shut. So what I ended up getting is, there's no lights in this back hallway, so it's a little dark, is this little guy. So I needed to drill a hole through the door for this to go in. But since the door frame's kind of hodgepodge together, I also need to put a block of wood on the side for the latch to kind of go around. So I'm going to get on that. Okay. So let's first figure out what size wood on the door frame I need. And I think I'm probably going to go with the shorter one because it needs to go like, maybe I do need the bigger one. Like that. Let's go like this, and I'll have to put it right at the edge, I think. I think this is just gonna be a little bit of trial and error. Start by screwing this in and seeing. The only thing with that is that the door won't shut. So then this should be able to sit like that, and that should fit. All right. Okay, I just double checked to make sure that this construction noise isn't too loud for the people riding in the arena. I don't want to spook any horses, so. Of course, I hit the one freaking handle on the other side. I can't even. I'm just gonna move the handle. Show you guys. That's where my hole came through, right there. Seriously? You're kidding me. How on earth? Okay. The scrap wood pile came in handy because I found a piece. All right, third time's a charm, one by one. Let's see if that works. Perfect, we have a door. All right, so I put a 1x1 on the door frame for the handle to sit around, and then you just spin it and it opens. So you spin it and it spins on both sides. You can lock it, we don't need to. And then you spin it down, spin it open, so get it shut. And there we go. Not too bad. This is now our third dumpster that we've had to order to throw things out from the renovation project we've been doing. Gotta get all this cleaned up out of here. All right, all the garbage that we had kind of stored in other places like the garage or the extra run-in shed we have right there is all in here. It's taking up like half of the dumpster. This is a smaller one than we got previously. So we have a lot of stuff that the old owners left that was broken. So like, for example, the saw doesn't work. It's a stand with the saw on top. There's a shop vac in there. There's the old steps from the silo that I built new ones for, and just a lot of extra stuff. And then some renovation pieces, like leftover kind of smaller slivers of mat that we didn't end up using. So bits and pieces, and then just garbage. It just acquires, especially as we've been ordering stuff and unpacking things. We have a lot of like cardboard boxes and whatnot lying around. So got that all cleaned up, which feels good. We had a lot of garbage. I had 2 jumping lessons on Trevor this week, one on Thursday night, which is the clip you see now, and then one on Saturday morning. This week we worked on a bit of coursework just to work on being smooth over some fences and to break up doing some of the more technical exercises we had been doing. On Saturday we also built in a little bit of height, which was really fun. The course each day, we did different variations of it, but we had set a vertical on the quarter line, 2 verticals across the diagonals, a 3 stride up the outside on Thursday, which we made into an oxer for Saturday, and then a jump on the end. And then during our warm-up, we also utilized trot poles at the end of the ring.
Said it's just me. It's just me. It's just me. It's just me. Hey. You probably feel like you've been blessed by the gods above. You're riding high, and your heart is full of love. You're bubbling over with joy, just like a child with a brand new toy. It's so unreal, 'cause you don't see that it's just me. It's just me. It's just a standard reaction, yeah. It's just me. I know you feel that attraction, yeah. Well, it's not the weekend, and it ain't the wine. Said it's not the food you eat, making you feel so fine, yeah. It's not your favorite song.
All right, so we're doing a lot of cleanup this week and next week. We need to clean up around the farm. Essentially, we have a lot of stuff that's just kind of out remaining from projects that we want to clean up before the open house. So for example, one is this tarp. We were using this tarp to cover some of the wood that we got that wasn't pressure treated, and then the pile of stone dust because it was right next to it. But now we don't need it anymore because all that's left are fence poles, and those are treated. They can be outside. And I'm desperately trying to dry this thing off, and I got it all nice and laid out, and then of course it rained after not raining for weeks, so I need to get all the water off of it, and then hopefully let it sit again and dry off so we can fold it and put it away. Today is a nice day, so I'm hoping if it can just not rain tonight, I can fold it up and put it away tomorrow. I think there's more rain coming, so I'm gonna try to get that done. I'm so mad I spent that time and energy getting the freaking standing water, chickens are yelling at me, off of the tarp, and it rained last night. And it was pretty much dry yesterday afternoon, so I should have just folded it, but now I gotta dump it again. Okay, it is a sunny, beautiful, kind of warm day, so I'm thinking that it'll be dry by this afternoon. And I will be putting it away this afternoon, regardless, because I don't want it to be rained on again, because I'd like to not do that again. It's time. I did not forget, and we are dry, putting it away. Max has also been working to clean up this side of the barn, so the dumpster will be leaving us before the open house for sure. And then it's on our task list to get the rest of the mats put in the barn, and then this pile of wood. We're hoping to get a lot of fencing done before the open house, but we might just move it out of the way. There's like a concrete pad next to the chickens, might just put it on. And then Max has been working on getting a spot ready to move the porta potty to. So hopefully this side of the barn can get cleaned up today. I'm so mad I missed him moving the porta potty. But there she is, nice and square. So then we're just gonna put together a little path to that door, because that's an easy spot to get from the barn. Max is finishing on the steps up for the porta potty, and we are going to get this cleaned up and I think move some of these concrete blocks. Don't really know the purpose of them because they're just like on top, but like this I just cleaned off, that one's in the ground, so I don't know. So supposedly bumblebees live in the ground, and I just found one and I feel bad. I feel like it hurt its home. I hate gardening in the fall. I'm gonna get a cone and put over it. Came out of that hole right there. There we go, protected. He's cleaning off this cement pad so that we can move the fence post just out of the way. And the chickens are helping. They're all out bothering him earlier. It was really funny. This project's not going to get done this fall. There are a lot of bumblebees who have nested here for the winter. So we're going to pause. I think Max later is going to take just a light weed whack. And then next spring, once everybody's back out and at it, we will finish kind of landscaping this part of it because I like bees too much. Okay, and a little bit of an after. So they had some pavers kind of up until there, and then a few over here, and then Max got a bottom put on, so steps up to the porta potty. Eventually, I think we want to put maybe next spring like a garden bed or something here, and then people can, once all this stuff is out of the way, pull up and park kind of in this way. there's no real securing method for the windows. I think they're like nails or something that kept them in previously, so we're just going to use these blocks because it is nice to be able to take them off for the summer to get some airflow through there. So we'll have those. Maybe we'll paint them, maybe we won't. So these windows on this side, and I think there's one on the front, I don't know if that one's in yet, will need to be secured, and then we'll do the other side another day. All right, my drill died. I'll finish this another day, I guess. I have a few packages to go get, including our heaters to install in the barn and some latches that we need to put on the stall doors, and I think some fencing stuff. There might be more, I don't know. I'm trying to unpack poly tape for fencing, and my chickens are coming to see me. What are you doing? She's yelling at me. I wonder if their door closed to their coop. I'm like, no, it's open. It's still open. I have no snacks. Okay, I am installing these little latches on the bottom of the doors. One, to help keep from bowing out like this one is, but also we have found that if a horse sits and paws at the door, that the latch the latch will just kind of start popping up, and because it's spring-loaded, it'll just open and then they can get out. So we purchased these little latches off Amazon just to kind of keep the bottom shut if the latch were to open. So those are done on every stall. The thing about those is that if they're not that easy to do, it's fine, because we only need them really at night when there's not somebody kind of out in the barn for a long period of time. And they don't have to sit like all the way down. So if there's a tough one or two while the boards are kind of bending back, then it can just be like just a little bit in. We just don't want the doors to swing open if the spring lock opens. So, but those are done. I'm gonna start putting the bars together, and then when Max gets back, he can help me put them up. So what he decided to do, which was my idea originally, was to make the holes on the top just a little bit bigger. So the bars on the windows, this bottom side is fairly snug. You kind of have to jam it in there. But the top is fairly loose so that we could finagle it up and then down. So we're doing something similar, but it's just a little bit tighter than the ones on the window. So I'm gonna get to making those, the ones I drilled already, just a smidge bigger, and start putting in the bars. Okay, so I just talked to Max. He said I can drill the holes on the bottom too. So the top ones, they still fit very, very snug. The bottom ones are almost too small. So what we're doing is having to hammer them like into the holes. It's almost like when you pre-drill for a screw. You don't want to make it too big because then the screw doesn't fit. That's Fern. And so, but I can go a little bit on the bottoms, and then there's Caterpillar. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm gonna drill holes in the bottom now. Like a lot of work. Much easier than the other ones though, with the smaller holes. So that is set up, much too heavy for me to lift by myself. So when Max gets home, we'll put it up on, that goes on for install. on that one, and then we'll make sure it's the right height and whatnot. The rebar was measured to for sure fit. It's just a matter of how far into the wood they have to be. So, all right, I think I'm gonna put together this next one. All right, second one's done. I just have to do one more. Last one I have to do is this last stall. We don't plan on having this stall regularly filled, but we're still gonna get it done now. Only thing about this one is I had yet to do any of the markings or holes on this one yet because we were still deciding when I was doing that task with the other ones what we we're gonna do about the light switch. But I think what we're gonna do is, since there's a pole behind it, we're just gonna end the top board like right here. So we're only gonna have the bars going to just next to this. So I'm gonna get started on that. Gave myself a nice blister, you can see it, but all the bars are on the stalls. We have stalls, that's crazy. They look so good. So we just need to get mats into this last one. Max is grabbing the first one now, and then the stalls will be technically usable. I'm not gonna call them done because there's still a couple things you want to do, like putting in the windows, but like someone could use this stall. Very nice. Look at this crazy lightning storm behind me. That's wild. We've been watching the lightning kind of all like early evening kind of go like around us. There's some north of us and east or west of us, and now that's south. Hasn't really gone over us though. I think there's just these little pockets of storms moving through. And we got the mats in, and then we also brought new horse Dan in as well. He arrived with us today. And the reason we brought him in tonight is because the storms are gonna hit us. It just started sprinkling, so we got it done just in time. And because there's so much lightning, we wanted to make sure that the horses felt comfortable going into the run-in shed, but because they brand new put together, we don't know if there'll be bullying out of the run-in shed. So just for tonight, he's gonna be inside, and then tomorrow he'll go back out and then they'll be fine. So they were great today. They were super. They settled in kind of immediately, but we just, out of an abundance of caution because of the lightning. So Dan's inside, and we've got 7 stalls. This one's still got a bunch of construction stuff in it, but we have stalls, right?
We do.
We do.
Feels good.
Okay, so we are working on fixing up this front door, and the reason we have to do that is because the mechanism that they use to keep the door in place, so basically from like swinging out, is they had a groove in between the barn floor and then this ramp up. But as horses would walk up into it, of course they would put their toe right into it and then trip. So we filled it in with stone dust so horses wouldn't trip over it, which now means we need to cut the bottom of the door up a little bit, refasten kind of a board on the bottom so it slides now on top of everything. Kind of like what I did to the door in between the feed room and the vestibule. It pays to be a hoarder. This handle was off of the side door that I fixed the other day with a new handle. Now you could use it, put it on the inside of this door. All right, door is done. So what we ended up doing is we ended up replacing the bottom, like I talked about earlier, and we also replaced the middle board to offer a little bit more stability. I don't know if you could see it on the time lapse, but like all of these are like individual sections. So we got those on, and then we put these end pieces on as well, also for stability, and then put handles up on either side, and then we put a couple of T-posts in the ground. Where is it? There, okay, there, and then one at the end so that it doesn't swing. And then we had to just cut a little bit right there off this wood piece. This one, there we go. So the door could shut because just this added little bit of lip on it made it so it could shut. This is on our painting list for this week before the open house. And what we need to do to finish the store before it really starts getting cold is adding some insulation. So when it closes, there's just some gaps like between like this board and that board. So we'll add some stuff there. We might add a strip on the bottom and then on the other side as well, just to make it a little bit more tight so that air doesn't go through it. And like we'll add something here because you can see there's a gap there. But for now, good. The reason we tackled this tonight is because we need to work on getting the windows in. That will be a next week project. And we couldn't close the door because we had filled in the gap for it to move. So we had to do something with it tonight, and then we wanted it stable enough to be able to use and then get it stained and or painted for next week. So we have a door. Thanks for joining us this week to see what projects we got done on the farm. Join us for next week's video as we finish up some last minute projects before our open house.